We know now that the earth's not round, that it don't spin round.
Yeah.
Cause the truth's being found.
Despite the celebratory feel.
Hey.
Welcome back to the His and Hers podcast. If you haven't guessed, this is episode 23, and we are going to talk about flat Earth.
Woo woo. This is our conspiracy theory
Right.
episode. Once a month.
I'm David Cisneros, here with my beautiful wife, Nikki Glamour.
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. So, obviously, like I said, we're going to talk about the flat Earth theory. And what did you think about flat Earth theory before looking into it?
Okay. I just thought that it's kind of self-explanatory. This group of people believes that the earth is flat, that there are edges. Now, I just thought that they believe that you could like fall off the edge, that it was just like this, like this cardboard fucking thing. I don't know. Like the flat earth, I was just like, they think, didn't Christopher Columbus or some shit think that he could like sail to the edge of the earth?
I think everybody thought that.
For a while, right?
For
and
a
you know
long
what?
time, yeah.
That's the answer to your question, because then I learned a lot more in this study. But my initial thought was just that the earth is flat. You can fall off of it.
Right.
But
they kind of patched that hole in the theory a little bit, because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, so you just go off the edge of it for real?
Right. But we'll answer that in just a little bit. What about you? What did you think? Kind of the same?
Pretty much the same thing. I thought that it was just flat and there was no like barrier and you just go off into space,
you
I
just
guess.
like fall off.
So that's what I assumed it was, what the theory was. But clearly, and also, to be honest, I thought like the flat earth people, I thought people who believed in that were just kind of just being trolls about it. Like,
a lot of people
I just thought it was
that.
a meme. I literally thought it was just a meme. Like something people say just to be contrary.
No, I knew that there were, and here's why, and I'm being straight up with you.
Yeah.
I did know a kid in high school. He was in fucking band.
Yeah.
And he would talk about it openly in class, like we trying to argue with our fucking geography teacher about how the earth was flat. And every time that our teacher would like reference the globe or reference like maps,
He was ahead of his time.
he was fucking, excuse me, sir. Like did you know that that's actually like theoretically speaking, like there's really no proof that the world is like, and we'd be like, oh my God, can you please let it go? Yeah. Like he would go back and forth. The teacher would be like, hey, look, I really don't have time for this right now. Yeah. But you have your theory. I have, what I believe in.
I wonder what that guy's doing for work now.
Watch him be like working for NASA or
he's on one of those documentaries you see on YouTube of the flat earth like conventions. He's like, there's actually no proof that the earth is round. A circle? You think balls are just in the sky?
Floating out of nowhere? Yeah. So
yeah, I know that guy.
I knew a little bit, I guess, like from his rants in class, but I knew that there was like passion behind this topic. Wow. For some people. It really is a belief.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I know anybody in real life that believes the earth is flat. And I think that's a good thing. That means I'm surrounding myself with people who are pretty smart.
Well, honestly, I wanted to come into this like I go into every single one of my cases.
Maybe I'm being too generous, but they're not that dumb.
I wanted to come into this like very unbiased though.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
I feel like you're kind of biased. I feel like you kind of judgy.
I'm kind of giving away what I think after.
Yes. Okay.
I was.
Whatever. I feel like you were.
I never
straight up judgy.
I never believed it for a second.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have some good. Not good, but I see what they're trying to say. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, I have some questions.
All right, well, let's stop teasing. Let's get into it. What is the flat earth theory? Okay, so I did some, deep digging into the flat earth theory. And first of all, when I hear about theories, my first thought is, who else believes in this? Especially, is there anybody that we know or any celebrities, anything like that? One of the best well-known flat earthers, he's kind of famous. His name is Mark Sargent. And you will see him if you Google flat earth. the flat Earth theory.
Mark Sargent. Which one is he?
He's the one that like he wears a baseball cap everywhere, and then he carries that like that little globe in his pocket, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, like everybody thinks that we're, you know, on this little ball in space, but we're really not. But anyway, so if he's like the poster boy
that guy. Yeah, I know
for the flat Earth theory. But anyways,
there's that other fool from Denver.
We'll get into that.
Embarrassing.
Okay, so essentially, let's talk about some of the valid points of this theory.
Okay.
Firstly, the flat Earth theory has actually been around for ages.
Correct.
Okay?
It's not new.
It's not new at all, which gives the flat earthers, if we may, a kind of a leg to stand on, because they're like, hey, our ancestors, you know, ain't, you know, the really far back in history as like Egyptians, in their text and in their depictions.
Like, those people are not your ancestors, let's be honest.
Shut the fuck up.
They're like, actually, our ancestors back in Egypt.
Yeah, they're always, so they reference Egypt a lot. Okay. So in early Egyptian times, the world was portrayed as a flat disc that floats in the ocean, and that floats in a bigger ocean than we can imagine. Okay. So we're just kind of like almost, they even referenced it like, you know, compared it to a log just kind of floating in this big universal ocean pretty much, and that's how we have sea and water around us.
That's very profound.
Yes. So they said that we're on like a flat disc, so they keep referring back to that. Now if we also go back to like I think it was definitely way before medieval times. It was like not Mesozoic, but long time ago, when they started creating maps. You see this depicted in like Disney cartoons, and they go out into the sea and they roll out a map, and it's flat. Right. It depicts the world as being flat. And so a lot of flat earthers, they're like, this is how our ancestors and people before us were even able to sail and you know, travel across the world, because they weren't going in this, you know, with this spherical like horizon type of shit that everybody else thinks. Everything is flat, and that's why they use a flat map and a flat world to find their way, and you know, throughout the sea and discover new lands. And so because of that, the flat earth theory is probably obviously it's older than the spherical earth reality that we're in right now, where we see it on satellites and things like that, which we're going to get into, because
the earth being round was a pretty radical idea.
It was a radical idea, but you know, with the evidence behind it, then it started becoming more well known.
Because also remember, they thought that the earth was the center of the universe and everything revolved around the earth. Yes. Which that's not what flat earth
and actually
theorists believe now, but
yeah. So the crazy thing is that they actually believe that they depicted the earth as kind of like a dome shape. Right. Where it was flat on the bottom.
What are you talking about, back in the day?
Back in like Egyptian times, in their like on coffins, like so on some of their burial coffins, they depicted Earth as being a flat surface, but like domed. So that's where we get into that domed theory as we get further along into this planetarium thing. It came from some of the depictions found in Egyptian art, coffins, text, things like that. So I found that very interesting. So they hold on to that quite a bit and say that, you know, they reference, you know, the Mayans were correct about a lot of things. The Egyptians were correct about a lot of things. They knew deeper, more spiritual things than we did.
But they were also wrong about some things.
A lot of things.
Like, I don't think we practice human sacrifices at the top of the pyramid anymore and kick heads down the stairs.
Yeah, we're not trying to please a god with, you know, human sacrifice.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, they didn't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And the world didn't end in 2012. No offense to my Mayan brothers, but those are my people. But, you know.
Well, actually, speaking of the Mayans, some super early Indian depictions of Earth were being a stack of flat discs. That's how they saw our Earth, as a stack of flat discs. We had different levels to our Earth. So because of that,
we're like a 6-disc changer. Oh my god, that just made me sound so old.
Stop it! Stop right now! Oh my god! Oh my god! Them was the time.
So old.
Okay, so now, so that's where it originated. It originated like eons ago. Okay, it's been around for a very long time. So the people that believe in this, let's talk about how many people actually believe that the Earth is flat. And
too many.
It actually, I heard a percentage that's like it's a very low percentage, but when you equate it to how many people, like numerically, it's like 6.4 million people believe that the Earth is flat. So there are more conventions popping up, one of which was held here in the lovely city of Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, it was.
Did you attend?
I did not go to that one, but I'll make sure that I make the next one.
Well, it was
I have
actually
some questions.
It was a big convention. So
It's like the biggest in the world.
This belief system, this theory, and this belief is actually pretty big. So don't scoff at it right now. Let's kind of dig deeper and see what we think. How do we feel?
So that way you can properly laugh at it.
What are the vibes?
It's not good.
All right. So what is the flat Earth model? What do flat earthers believe from our research? This is what I have pulled and enjoy. So the flat Earth model states that we're not on a globe flying through space at incredible velocities in an impossible universe, but rather we are living on a stationary, flat, round disc with a dome top, like a planetarium. Stationary still. Okay. Now let's
keep that in mind, because there's something that contradicts that statement already.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. All right. Continue. So because it is stationary, the stars and the moon and the sun that we see is actually imprinted into our very own sky, which is the dome of our planet.
See, because what I read was the stars are actually kind of like a like if you have like a night, like Ezra's nightlight in his room, like a planetarium where it has a light that projects the stars onto the sky.
Yeah,
like it would on the ceiling in a room.
But what's the source?
That's what my point is. I'm like, so if I go somewhere like in the center of the Earth, I can just put my hand over something and it'll just block out the whole stars and the whole world.
Yeah, where's the big light?
That's my question.
Oh shit. Okay, so there are like maybe some different beliefs, but what I've seen, we are stationary, okay?
Okay.
And we are in a planetarium of sorts with a dome top, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
but they also believe that the Earth is actually moving up, which is what is keeping us on Earth.
Like it's not gravity.
Like the elevator effect, I guess.
It's like this kind of opposite movement type thing that's keeping us on the Earth.
Right, because we're moving up. It's like being on an elevator when you try to jump on the elevator and it's going up. It's like that.
I see. Okay.
For what it's worth.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the layout. How does Earth look when it's flat?
Dumb.
Okay. So, baby, you have to be unbiased in this.
I am.
You are not. Can you guys hear his attitude?
I'm unbiased. I'm open.
You would not be a great reporter. Okay?
I got an open mind.
So, the way that the Earth looks when it's flat, obviously all the continents are spread out, spread eagle. Now, a big difference.
That makes sense because this theory is fucked.
The big difference, what I found interesting, which I did not know, and my initial thought of the flat Earth theory was that Antarctica, everybody knows Antarctica, yes?
Of course.
Antarctica is the outline of this entire circle that we're on.
It's pretty much like the wall around it.
Yeah, it's like a big ice wall, and it keeps everything
That's why we don't fall
in the
off.
dome. Yeah, that's why you can't. Now, speaking of, okay, it's an ice wall.
Like Game of Thrones.
And that keeps you from falling off of the Earth because the Earth is flat.
That's a good patch in the theory because that was my question. Like, so we just fall off. They're like, well, Antarctica is just like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it fucking protects you from the side. Now, can you get on the other side? No, I learned. According to Mark Sargent.
Oh, yeah.
The only people that have access to Antarctica and the edge of the world is military and military scientists, and that's it. You cannot, as a civilian, access the edge of the world. You cannot get past the Antarctica ring wall.
Yeah.
And if you do, you have to be accompanied by military scientists.
So I can't go on vacation in Antarctica?
No, it's only accessible by military and
Not
military
anymore?
scientists. Do you have the credentials, good sir? I think not. So no,
I
you
just
shall
don't
not be
think
granted access
Genetically,
to the
I'm
edge
just
of the
not-
world.
Genetically, I just don't have any desire to get to Antarctica.
Dude, seriously?
Honestly, Denver is the coldest I can do, and it's not even that bad. This is my limit. So I never had any desire to go to Antarctica. But also, I don't think that's very true. Like, I think pretty much anybody can go to Antarctica. I just think it's a pain in the fucking ass to get there because it's a frozen tundra. It's not like you have Southwest Airlines flying out there.
Or maybe it's just protecting the edge of the world.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about when...
Can polar bears go off the edge of the world?
No, they
Are
can't
polar
get
bears in
past
space?
the wall.
Do we got
They're
space
not with
polar
a
bears?
military scientist.
Space penguins?
Space penguins.
Oh my God.
You can fall off the edge of the earth. What if they
Like the Kid Cuisine
what if
boxes?
Oh shit.
Aren't those like,
Those are penguins.
are those penguins in space? Let me look it up.
Those are not penguins in space.
Oh my God, I think they are.
They're not penguins in space. Are they
Kids
penguins in space?
Cuisine box. Penguins.
Can I take a shot while you do that?
Oh no, they're not in space, but they are penguins. But anyway, we might have space penguins. Speaking of not penguins but space, did you see that they want to build a space hotel?
No.
Yeah.
Where?
In space.
But where in space?
I don't
On a
know.
planet?
I guess around
Or
our
just like
planet.
floating?
No, I guess it's kind of like in our galaxy or in our gravitational pull, like a satellite, I guess, kind of. Yeah, like kind of like a satellite just floating around the Earth.
Are people absolutely fucking insane?
It kind of like the way that they were hyping it up. It sounds like Space Titanic,
right.
and I kind of really don't want to go now.
No. Yeah. I don't like that.
Hit a
I'm
space
fine.
iceberg.
Oh my God.
I'd be pissed.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but anyway,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, speaking of satellites, right? Okay. So a lot of flat earthers are presented with the big question of, we have satellites. There is literal like visual photographic proof of the fact that the earth is spherical. It's round. It has, there are so many different tests that you can do to prove this theory, which we'll go over in just a little bit. But when flat earthers such as this Mark Sargent is, presented with this question, like how you figure, he said that there's hardly any validity to the satellites because flat earthers generally, they believe that most communication, like with our cell phones and everything via satellite, is actually done via fiber optics in the water rather than satellites. And that what we're seeing from satellites and the photographs and everything have been constructed and have been created via Photoshop or some shit. And they're not actual representations of how the Earth looks.
So how do I get satellite radio?
From fiber optics in the water.
Okay.
I am just reporting here. Don't give me.
How in the fuck? How would you get fiber optic cables in the ocean? First of all, the way that they have the Earth laid out for flat Earth theory, do you know how fucking massive the oceans are?
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. Way like, how in the hell are they going to get fiber optics in the ocean? We don't even know that much about the ocean. We haven't even discovered how much of the ocean.
Oh, it's like 80% of it is undiscovered.
So you're telling me that we have some normal electricians going in there and be like, all right, we're going to go to the ocean. And first of all, all my years of being an electrician, I've never heard of a job where like, yeah, we got to go in the ocean and install this fiber optics. And we got to do some underground.
Okay, can you explain fiber optics for those of us who don't know? What are fiber optics?
Okay, fiber optic is really just a cable made up of like glass, pretty much. It's glass, and what it does is it sends signal through the glass, like it just sends light through the glass. So it's really fast. So it's moving I don't know if it's moving at the speed of light. I mean, I assume it is. It's light, but It's going through this glass and it receives the signal on the other end. So first of all, fiber optic is a very delicate cable. Like you cannot bend it a certain way; it'll break because it's literally glass in there. So it's first of all, it's very expensive, super expensive. Anything glass related is very expensive from somebody who buys pipes. But anyway, it's expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
So in order to run fiber optics across the fucking ocean to supply internet, GPS, all this shit, cable for the entire world is absurd.
Well, flat earthers say to that, they say that NASA is given like some ungodly amount, like millions of dollars per day for their research, and that's how they're able to.
So they're going to take that money and put it into fiber optic cables. Into fiber
optic cables.
But what the fuck is the point? Why would they go through all that trouble?
Well, they think that NASA and like the government as a whole just wants to make a profit off of the thought of us being in this galaxy and us going.
They're laundering money pretty much through NASA.
Yeah, exactly.
But taking the money and then putting it into fiber optic cables to keep up this mirage
and to keep up our communication system and making us think that it's coming from satellites when it's not.
I'm just speaking as an electrician. That's stupid. And these idiots obviously don't know how fiber optic cables work.
Go off.
Just from a cost standpoint.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how much it would cost to do that. The labor.
For all of it.
And then I got an eyelash in my eye.
Oh, man. It must suck to have long eyelashes, long, luxurious, curly eyelashes. Oh, cool. Man.
It's more of a curse.
Complain some more.
It's more of a burden. Make a wish.
I don't think it works when it's somebody else's eyelash.
I don't know. I gave you my permission. Does that count?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess.
So
you gave me your blessing like on Coco?
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. So the cost to install fiber optic cables in the ocean would be astronomical. Just off of the labor. Paying for the actual material itself would be a whole other cost. That would be, your mind would probably explode if you saw the number for what that would cost. For the whole world, 7 billion people, or however many people there are on the world you're talking about. I mean, granted, I know not everywhere has cable, internet, all that stuff, but still, that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And just from a money standpoint, that's stupid. Because what are they gaining? Okay, what are they gaining besides pocketing some money?
I think money is power. They think that it's just having the power,
I mean, I don't think.
Would you ever go to like a flat earther convention just to learn more?
To learn more?
Yeah.
I would just go there to fucking fight.
You're so feisty about this stuff.
I'm just like, bro, even the people that back then that believed that the earth was round and they would fucking kill you if you said it wasn't, even they were like, all right, it's round. Like, even they had to admit at some point that the shit was round.
You know what was so funny, though, is that, like, literally, it wasn't even too long after, everyone thought that the earth was flat, like back in, the far away times. Yeah. I got you. Far away times.
Yeah.
Back then.
The good days.
When somebody, I forgot, I think it was Aristotle, some scientist, when they started coming out with the theory that the earth was round and spherical, it was widely accepted by scientists immediately. Like, all of a sudden, everything changed because there were so many ways to prove it. Now, let's talk about how can you prove that the earth is round versus flat? Well, one of the easiest things that you can do, it's called the stripe test. And I saw this being conducted on a few different videos. And what you do is you get like, a big banner, maybe like a big flag sized piece of fabric with huge stripes on it. I mean, it could be a flag, whatever you want, but you want big stripes, straight lines. And then you face it upward and you have a camera, on the beach, and you watch the boat go the opposite way and head towards the horizon. And as it goes over the horizon, you'll start seeing less and less and less of the lines because, it's going along the curvature of the Earth. So
Right. If it was flat, you would see.
you would
the
just
stripes all the
continue
way
to
through.
see it all the way through.
Yeah.
And so the flat earthers' response to that, they have a response for everything.
Still flat.
Their response is, well, that's from the heat. It's like heat waves.
Yeah.
It makes the stripes look like they're disappearing, but they're really not.
Yeah, I think I saw that where they took it to like that big, I don't know if it was like a lake or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a sea or an ocean. But yeah, they had the boat go with the stripes. And then the interviewer was like, what do you have to say to that? And the guy was like, still flat. Like that was his argument.
I think I saw that exact one.
Like, straight up, they were like, still flat.
Still flat.
It was like, okay.
There's always some like conspiracy, like within their theory, there's like more and more conspiracy theories of how we're being manipulated into believing one thing or another. So like with this test, it's like, oh, it's heat waves. They want you to see that. And like, you know, just like with the stars and, you know, our solar system as a whole, that's not a thing. And
it's just a big nightlight.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And like we're just kind of floating. We're floating, and you know, according to like ancient depictions, we're floating in just like this massive thing of water. So another aspect of this theory that we're going to get into, it starts bleeding into other conspiracy theories in regards to whether or not we've actually visited the moon and other planets, and what the validity of the moon landing, especially. Now, flat earthers believe that because we are on this planetarium, there is no way that we have been in this so-called space. We are not a part of a galaxy universe. We're not a part of any of that fucking shit. And every photograph, video, and every astronaut is a paid actor. They have been employed by the government to pretend to go to these places and act with green screens and, you know, jumpy cables and all of those things to make us believe that we have landed on the moon, but we haven't.
I mean, shit, we're in space right now if you just look at the background.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Done.
So,
easy. Moon landing. Faked. Boom.
When it comes to that part, I found this dope-ass song. During my research, I come across like the craziest shit when I go down these like rabbit holes. And I found this channel, and it's called Babe. Okay.
What is it called?
Okay. Try to see if you could come up with the pun that it is. It's kind of like Ghostbusters, but it's about.
Is it the Globe Busters?
It's the Globebusters.
Oh my
It's
God.
the Globebusters. So I found this funny ass motherfucking song, and it says. So this page is actually pretty big. We're gonna leave the link in our description box for you guys.
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters or Globebusters.
It's like, how are you gonna fall?
Nah, dude, this thing has its own vibe to it. So it's called Flat Earth, All the Proof You Will Ever Need.
In one song?
In a song, yep, in one song. It's kind of a vibe. It's kind of a bop. I'm telling you, it might be the new summer jam.
What? That's the name of the guy? Globebusters?
It's
yeah.
It's on that channel.
Okay. All right, so we got a guy. This is great use of a green screen, by the way.
And he goes into the green screen.
Yeah, he's
shit
like
and
literally
everything.
floating in space.
This
on
song
a green
is so
screen.
legit.
I'm convinced. Yeah.
Hey, look at him.
Well, let me tell you something about
Okay.
the space station.
I'm listening.
It's only really there in your imagination.
Oh.
It's there to feed your space addiction.
Hey.
Those astronauts
Hey.
are not in space. It's written all over their stupid face. See the option spot. Didn't you learn nothing from the fake moon mission?
This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke.
He's hella straight up. He is actually working on an album. This dude this is his third full song. He is very
three
much,
full songs.
Yes.
I thought he said everything I need to know in one song. Why did he make 3 songs?
He's made
But
3
guy's
songs.
lying.
And his fans are diehard flat earthers.
Of course. And you know what? That is exactly the genre of music I would expect a flat Earth song, a pro flat Earth song to be. Although I know B.O.B. is a rapper and also a flat Earth guy. But
Oh.
he's,
Okay. You see,
he's
it's
the
a
same
lot
guy,
more peeps.
But he's the same guy who thought airplanes were stars. So,
Airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars.
Yeah, they're not. They're just planes. Everybody knows a plane. Shooting stars are fast
Right now.
as fuck. A plane just...
It's
like
a
you see
plane.
it.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
It's very clear. It has blinking lights and shit.
Wow, I did not know that he was a flat earther.
But he never made a flat Earth. I don't know. I gotta look into that.
Well, it was
I'm
funny
sure he did.
because whenever I was looking into this and like these documentaries, they were like, guaranteed you know a flat earther in your personal life. But
Expose yourself.
But they just don't want
if I know
to
you.
come out the closet, quote unquote. That's what they said. And
What's holding them in there? There's no
that
gravity.
everybody else is going to like judge them because they believe that the earth is flat. And so maybe we know. Let's try to guess. Do you think somebody in our circle like believes the earth is flat?
If I had to guess.
If you had to guess.
Man, my guess would be Alex. My sister. She might be.
I would say Cody.
Alex?
Cody is her fiance.
Maybe Cody. No, I don't think they are.
Nah,
They're too smart for that.
hell yeah.
Well, Cody is.
Shut up. Don't be talking about my sister-in-law like that. You're gonna get beat up. Anyways,
I'm trying to think of who it would be. I don't think I know anybody that would be a flat earther.
but like that's the thing. They're like, you wouldn't even think, but
Maybe
a lot more people believe it than we anticipated.
Do you believe? Let me find out.
You never know.
It's me all along. Like those people that are like in the closet, but
Yeah.
like are super homophobic.
Hell yeah.
Like the most homophobic.
Yeah.
Because they're
It's
trying
like,
to hide that
no
they
way,
are.
flat earthers are so stupid.
Well, they're so dumb.
So ridiculous.
So dumb. Think the
Then you
earth
have all
is
the
so
flat
round.
earther t-shirts in the back of your closet.
Yeah,
Just
but our earth is rounder than anybody else's earth. I bet. I guarantee it.
anybody else's earth.
Yeah, it's actually me.
You're the flat earther.
I'm the secret flat earther.
Well, what do we think about? What
Down
did you?
low.
I feel like I kind of led this entire convo. What did you learn about the flat Earth theory, David? You're like the kid that like made me do all of the work on the project, and you're just like being judgy about it. What did you? Let me see your research. Let me see your notes.
First of all, that is 100% accurate.
Oh shit!
I tricked her into doing all the research.
You know, I get passionate about these things.
You're actually really good at research. You're like the best at it.
Shut up, David. I'm not doing all the research for you. Okay.
All right. So what I found out, pretty much what you found out.
You didn't have to hit me in the titty just now. You did not have to do that. It's fine.
Let me fix that. Okay, we're all good. Okay. So basically, I just found out what you found out.
Are you fucking serious?
A couple things that you didn't really hit on is they don't believe gravity exists, which is stupid. Because
So we did
so
hit
many
on that.
people-
Isn't it the elevator thing?
yeah, kind of a little
We
bit.
hit on
but we got
that.
into that. That was more about the Earth doesn't move. We're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't believe in gravity, and that's how they believe. So for them to say that the Earth isn't moving, but then to say that the Earth is moving up to keep us on the
That's the thing.
Earth,
Yeah, that's the
I'm just
contradiction.
like, well, you're already contradicting yourself. Your argument already has this giant hole in it. So
yeah.
I'm supposed to buy this shit. Hold on. And it's funny because I got a clip right here of a guy. This is from the convention you're talking about here in Denver, where this guy was actually like going around interviewing people, and this guy has like these wind chimes, and this is what he says.
And I'll leave it alone and it'll just be still. How could that hang upside down anywhere in the world?
Well, the answer is gravity, though. Isn't
Well, in the imagination.
it's opposite.
What?
I said gravity is in our imagination.
Oh.
So
Oh man, this is getting a little crazy.
yeah,
It's
but
getting a little.
you know, here's the thing. There's so many scientists that have done research on, and gravity is 100% real, clearly. I mean, Albert Einstein's entire theory of relativity is pretty much based around gravity.
Yeah.
And how gravity and time relationship, how they
How they work together.
not work together, but how they relate to each other. You know what I mean? Relativity.
Relativity.
So
ding ding ding.
So clearly this has been a very widely accepted and very highly researched. Because even at the time when Einstein brought up the theory of relativity, it was a pretty radical thing then too. So when you're talking about what maybe the 40s, 50s, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
When Albert Einstein was doing his thing. Gravity is real, clearly. And then also, here's another argument to the idea of the Earth being flat is the moon. The moon is just in the sky and we see it sometimes. But here's the thing. The Earth is pulled. So the moon is pulled in by the Earth's gravity and it doesn't rotate. The moon doesn't rotate. It just stays facing the same side of the moon, stays facing the Earth all the time. And it moves around the Earth like that. And that's why from anywhere in the world, we are seeing the same face of the moon. So if you look at all the images of the moon, they're all the same. Mm-hmm. Now, the only difference is depending on your latitude of where you are in the world, or whether you're further north or further south, you will see the face of the Earth from a different perspective because the Earth is spherical. And if you're down south, you're going to see a different perspective of the moon.
Of the same face.
And also at the same time with the stars, you're going to see a different constellation of stars up north.
Depending on where you are.
Like if you're north of the equator, you're going to see the northern star. But if you're on the south side of the equator, you're not going to see the northern star. But here's the other thing. They don't think the southern hemisphere actually exists.
What do they think?
They just think this shit is flat. So there's no, like, South America and all this shit.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in it. But they think, and they don't think that the stars move. They're like, if you know, or they think that if this is true, then the stars would move. It's like, well, they do. And that's where the zodiac comes in. Because the zodiac is actually a combination of stars that create Sagittarius, Pisces, whatever it is.
Yep.
So yeah, they move throughout the year. Like you see different stars because we're rotating.
Because it's going through like the entire cycle.
Rotating around the sun and shit. On the same path every fucking year. So there's a lot of holes in this shit. And
so was your research just kind of like debunking?
I really wanted to, well, yeah, a little bit. I wanted to see the debunking of it because I figured I would get the theory and the debunking in one place.
So the less work, less research.
Not less
in
research.
In a nutshell, David, just say that.
An expedited research, okay? My research was expedited. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Got you.
That's what I was trying to do.
Well, I think it's fair to ask at this point in the show, are you a flat earther?
I'm not. Well, you know.
Stop.
No, I'm not.
I cannot say that I am on the same side with this theory, but it was really interesting to look into.
Yeah, no, I definitely learned a lot of stupid shit because when I went into it, I was thinking I knew what the flat earth theory was. I thought I knew. And I had no idea how elaborate the theory was, I guess. Even though it's wrong. I mean, there's so many images, there's so much proof of, you know, photos. And honestly, at the end of the day, I just don't think just from a monetary standpoint, I don't feel like there's a big enough reward to fake this. Like if we were to come out, like if we just grew up or scientists found out that the earth was actually flat, okay. Would it? I mean, we would still have shit to explore, you know, because the early theories of flat earth included space because there were stars and shit like that.
Yep. That is true.
So I just don't buy that. They don't have an explanation for stars other than it's just a
projection,
just a nightlight pretty much. But when you look at actual scientists that give an explanation for stars being that, these are actually suns that are actually
they've died,
dead for billions of years, and we're just now seeing the light because this is how light travels and this is the speed of light, and now we're seeing it now.
Isn't that sad? That's kind of sad.
That all checks out.
When I learned that when I was a kid, I was kind of sad. I was like, dude, what? Like the stars that I'm seeing now aren't even alive.
I always think of the Lion King when they're laying there looking at the stars, Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Simone, what do you think stars are? He's like, probably just a bunch of fireflies caught in that big black thing. He's like, oh, I thought they were dead stars, billions of miles away, balls of gas. He's like, Pumbaa, with you, everything's gas.
Everything's gas.
Y'all had it right. But
he's all hella spot on.
But like that explanation is mathematical. It checks out. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's fairly new as technology develops. I think even still, we're still obviously discovering things about space because space is so huge.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, we're making strides, and I think that what's going on with what we are accomplishing right now is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But this flat Earth theory was kind of fun to do a deep dive in.
It was fun to watch because, like I said, I just thought it was a meme. I just thought it was a joke.
You know it, and I was able to come across that bop. Like I would have never found
to
that
your
song.
playlist now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Something to work out
bumping that whenever I go to Target.
Yeah, the Earth is flat, but this ass is not.
Never. Yeah, exactly that. That's how I'm gonna be bumping. But there it is, you guys. That is your first conspiracy theory episode here on the His and Hers podcast. Now we do have a hat drawing that we're doing every single month. So join us on the His and Hers podcast Instagram. You can find our handles here. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at the His X Hers pod. And we host all of our hat draws. We show you guys what we do behind the scenes. So make sure you follow us over there, and you guys can know which conspiracy we'll be researching next for our next conspiracy theory episode.
Yes, be there. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I'm David Cisneros. And you can follow Nikki.
And on Instagram at Nikki Glamour, and on Twitter at the
And if you're
Nikki
watching
Glamour.
this, I'm sorry.
It's all good. You're all
at the Nikki. I'm very aggressive with the finger guns.
You can follow Nikki.
Follow
Nikki.
Come on, follow Nikki. Or else. Get back. Finger gun out, turn into a hostage situation.
Okay.
And comment down below too if you have any conspiracy ideas you would like to hear us talk about if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like this video.
You already know what's up.
And subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can be notified every time you watch or anytime we post a video.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out.
No, you do not.
All right, y'all. We'll see you super soon. Have a great week. Peace out.